and the Urban View family and the Nubians. I love y'all, appreciate y'all. And today I want to really talk about, just briefly in this moment of gratitude, about that concept that I mentioned a little bit ago, the power of the people. And there's so much, because I was also home yesterday, I ended up going on Facebook, which I never do, not on my personal page, not my like professional, LDF show page, my personal page. And I hate going on to Facebook because like it sucks you in and it's hard to get out. And then you're like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while. And oh, hey, how you doing? And I ended up getting this back and forth with a friend of mine about like, that whole concept of told you so and da da da. So it was, sort of silly, but it was good to be back in a space where I was interacting with folks who I hadn't gotten a chance to be in contact with for a little bit. And as I was there, I came across a quote. So it led me to this other quote about the power of the people. And I want us to be reminded that sometimes when we are looking for these leaders who are like, who've got it all figured out, right? When we're looking for these leaders who understand, the dynamics and the complexities and who are able to figure out all the minutia and who understand how to get from A to Z and who understand the logistics and the distribution of the resource. Like sometimes we're looking for leaders who've got all the answers figured out. And then sometimes we find ourselves in situations where ain't nobody got it all figured out. Right? Nobody's got it all figured out. And I came across this quote. I'm probably going to mess up this name. I'm definitely going to mess up this name. Y'all know my tongue is colonized. But this is a quote from Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching. Lao Tzu Tao Te Ching. And they said the following about the power of the people. They said, learn from the people, plan with the people, begin with what they have, build on what they know. Of the best leaders, when the task is accomplished, the people all remark, we have done it ourselves. I'm going to say that one more time. I need it to sink in. Learn from the people. Plan with the people. Begin with what they have. Build on what they know. Of the best leaders, when the task is accomplished, the people all remark, we have done it ourselves. And this was really, I'm so glad that I found this quote because I tell you, like, when you're feeling with overwhelm and you need reminders, God shows up, the universe shows up. And we have a moment right now where in our community in particular, we have recognized the lack of education, the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, the lack of common sense. Like we get it. Common sense ain't common because a whole lot of people would have it and that don't. But when we reorient how we're thinking about community work as it not being this top-down thing where a leader or a couple of leaders or elected officials who substitute as leaders, because I don't necessarily, just because you're an elected official don't mean you're a leader. To me, that you might be in a leadership position, but that don't mean you're an effective leader. But we often are looking, particularly in this country, for this top-down leadership approach, this approach to leadership that essentially says somebody outside of we, the people, has the answers and the information, and we need to have them give it to us so we know what to do. I need us to just disabuse ourselves of the notion that that is the accurate way to engage when it comes to power, when it comes to leadership, and when it comes to solutions, right? This quote recenters the power within the people, not the leader, within the people. Because if the leader is working with the people, and at the end of the day, when the task is accomplished, the people say the leader did it, that's not effective leadership. Because that leadership depends on that leader always being in place. And when you switch it and you make the leader someone who, almost like an educator, right? There's this, I learned many, many years ago in Pittsburgh, shout out to Mother Sister House at the Kingsley Center and all the amazing Pittsburgh comrades with whom I have such love and appreciation. One of the things that she would talk about and we learned in that time was that when you're organizing with community, if you create an environment like an educator, and the root word of education, as I learned at that time, was educere. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but the root word being educere didn't mean that I, the teacher, have the information and you, the student, don't, and I pour into your emptiness. The root word of education, educere, is really speaking more to, as it was explained to me, a relationship where the teacher is simply creating a set of external stimuli that pull out of the student the genius that's already there. Do you see the difference? Right? Because if I'm pouring into you and you're nothing without my knowledge, well, then you're always dependent on me. And that's a false understanding of power. And that's a false understanding of your power and who you are and what you bring to the relationship between student and teacher. And so we have to create a situation where we're not looking for top down leadership, but those of us who are in leadership positions should not be lording leadership or power over people as well. But this idea that we learn from the people, we plan with the people, and we begin with what they know. We begin with what they know. That's why Septima Clark and all the women and men who were doing the organizing within the civil rights movement, the ones who were at the grassroots, they were working with what they had. They weren't waiting on somebody to bring them something. They looked at what they had, the gift, skills, and talents that they had, and they built on that and empowered them to do the work and empowered them to take ownership of the project of community empowerment. Of the best leaders, when the task is accomplished, the people all remark, "We have done it ourselves." That is how you create an empowered community. We learn from the people. We plan with the people. We begin with what they have. We build on what they know. And when the task is accomplished, they will be able to take ownership of it. They will be able to protect it. They will be able to further it, to expand upon it, and they'll be able to make it far more amazing, beautiful, dynamic, healing, vibrant, growing, expansive than any single individual leader or institution ever could have imagined, because the power of the people is that significant. And the power of the people can outdo billionaires. I need us to know that, because we're going to have to rely on that in the days to come. Now, my friends, I don't know what it is today that gives you a sense of joy or optimism, or a reminder that your birthright, our collective birthright, includes the right for us to thrive. But whatever it is, I want us to hold on to it, cherish and nourish it, and sprinkle as much of the juicy goodness of it as we possibly can into the lives of other people, because Lord knows we could all use a bit more of it.